The sound used to mean so much. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our standard playthrough of the Mega Man X series, starting, of course, with X1. So it's just myself and Myth for this.
How's it going?
And this is the first time we're doing anything like this. These are pre-recorded. I'm not playing right now. And we're just going to go through during all this and give you all the, walkthrough stuff and lore stuff and, trivia and just shit like that. It should be informative and fun.
And actually have the story text on screen long enough for you to read.
Yeah. So for those of you who want the novelized version of the X series, this is the playlist for you.
So, the fuck is Nom Corporation?
Is that really the first question you came up with?
Yeah.
I don't think Nom Corporation is mentioned at all. It was in those blueprints there. And I want to say that that's the only time it ever appears. I do like, though, that there's all that, manufacturing information and stuff like that. I think it's really neat. We were looking up, while this whole wall of text going on goes by, the RAM and, or the memory and all of that
processor shit.
And according to what Myth found...
Mega Man X has a fuck ton of RAM? Fucking 8 to 32 petabytes of RAM? I want that.
Which, by comparison...
the world's strongest supercomputer, as of the time of this recording, has only about 1 petabyte of RAM?
So basically, X is a walking, mega deep blue. Ah! Blue. Alright, so the abridged of that whole thing was basically just the notes on... Dr. Light's notes on X's creation and how it's hey, X is basically just the revolutionary robot, not Reploid, that's important. And he needs the 30-year system of checks and balances. Dr. Light won't survive for that. I've got here my handy-dandy original instruction manual that has all of the journal entries for Dr. Cain and everything, and it's basically all detailing, his jump from shitty soil archaeologist to, the founder of the Maverick Hunters and everything like that, which I guess we can kind of pick through as commentary slows down for other stuff. But for right now, hey look, it's everybody's favorite intro stage. It's already been going for a whole bunch, blowing past a whole bunch of enemies and all that.
I love the little helicopter dudes. They're the best.
The ground destroyers? I actually, oh cool, I've got my notes, all of my guidebooking. Don't know if they're in here or not. I know that, Gunbolt.
I know that, that's,
Crusher.
Yeah, that looks like a Crusher to me.
No. Alright, can you remember its name?
It's a B-blader.
Good job! I said it 20 minutes ago. Dropping Ball du Bois. So, there's your trivia. But yeah, the other ones are Crushers and Gunbolts and all that, so you're up to speed on that lore, folks.
So, the B-bladers, are they dropships with little pilot dudes inside, or are they actual AI mechanoid things?
I'd be willing to go ahead and assume that they're mechanoids. Oh, which I guess first homework assignment for everybody. I'm not going to do it for every enemy. It's whatever. Mechanoids are still just generic robots. So, I am going to do a task. Hooray! And then X is, the robot that's I'm as smart as a person with, petaflops of, RAM and all that stuff.
So, how does that compare to the original Mega Man? Especially, with the whole I'm a kill Wily.
That one's just weird. I don't think that ever actually gets explained. But I think the important distinction between Classic and X is that mechanoids and just generic worker level robots Tellies and Metors are pretty much comparable. That level of AI is just still do a task. But as far as Mega Man and the Robot Masters and the Wily robots and all, or Wily numbers and all that, those are all hard-coded with personalities, but the personalities are also programmed as opposed to Mega Man and Zero as robots, or the Reploids, which develop their own personalities and all that, and have free will and that sort of thing.
Now, you are supposed to lose this fight, yes?
Yes.
Is it possible to actually die?
Yes. If you want, you can just jump right the hell in there and kill you. You kind of need to try for it. I've never had it happen to me by accident, even as like a brand new player, but it's totally possible. Pretty sure it's possible in the Fortress stage too, which spoiler, but whatever. But yeah, you're supposed to lose, and I mean, everybody knows this at this point, but just for the sake of completion, it's all, this whole thing is like, I'm gonna be as strong as Zero someday. It's like player motivation, and you get to see X's growth throughout the course of the game, which, in my opinion, is like, and everybody else is now, like, just super brilliant game design, because you can actually see it, and we'll kind of, or I'll try to cover it over the course of these if I can keep my mindset through the multiple recordings that we're doing, is like a theme throughout the whole series. So in the whole blueprint thing that we went through, and in like Dr. Light has notes in here, which I'll actually go into once we get to the arm part upgrade when it's relevant, is it shows off his legs in the blueprint diagram, and it says emergency acceleration system option. And then you get that capsule with the dash, which is the emergency acceleration system, which we're going to see in just a little bit in Chill Penguin stage. And that turns into a standard feature. X is like, I like that. I'm just gonna like keep that internalized. So he's like picking up the whole Mega Man original modular, with the weapon copy system, but like in all areas, which is really, really cool, and it just shows him like continuously developing as a character.
If the beginning was supposed to imply that Dr. Cain has Light's research notes and everything, like that's what the login screen is for?
Yes.
Why did Cain then think it would be a good idea to mass-produce Remoids without the 30-year morality tube?
The morality tube! That's a good question. I think it's just kind of implied that Dr. Cain gets ahead of himself, and it's just like, holy shit, this is literally revolutionary. I think the notes in here, so in the original manual, there's like little snippets, stuff like they actually look like torn out journals, which I think is really neat. It's like, Light was a genius. I've been going over his design notes, and they're a quantum leap beyond anything the world has ever seen. So now, even like 100 years in the future, it's still like, no one's as fucking good as Dr. Light. So seeing the notes on X, he's got to be like, oh my god, like this has to get out there right now, and he's just like a little too ahead of himself on that. Which is also bolstered by the fact that he's a fucking archaeologist that goes like robotics, that goes military commander, so it's like, oh my god, Dr. Cain, I respect this, but
holy shit, please God, no.
Yeah. And then in regards to the capsules, I think it's a theory. No, it gets kind of confirmed later on, but that's a different, I'll bring that up then. But it's kind of widely agreed upon that it's just like an actual sentient AI, which we joke about.
Like Dr. Light's an AI.
Yeah, so this isn't a recorded message. This is like a sort of a memory fragment almost, or like a personality fragment. So it's like, alright, I can actually continue supporting you after I've died, which is pretty rad to think about. At the time, it never occurred to me, but like the more you think about it, the more it makes sense.
And it's like they plugged into like various news sources just to try and keep up with.
It could be, yeah. I mean,
it seems to know in each game that something's up.
Yeah, it shows learning potential, which is obviously like, okay, this very obviously isn't a recording. But yeah, so emergency acceleration system, which I've always liked as a little fluff note, as I almost killed myself like a.
That's the only one that's actually. Like, you have to pick it up when going through the stages.
Yeah, in any of the games, that is literally the only one that you can't avoid.
Now, do you actually need it to complete the game?
The dash boots in this?
Yeah.
You can get through every stage without it. Just normal completion. It makes it much harder. As far as the Fortress stages, though, I think they would be designed around it. I mean, I'm sure if you really tried, you could, but I mean, considering the fact that you have to have it at that point, I'm pretty sure it's going to actually play on it, but I've never tried not dashing, because that would be a chore. It is possible, but it's just as possible that you wouldn't be able to. I do know, though, just in that note, that some hackers went into the ROM file and completed the game as completely armorless X, and because in the credit sequence when it does the "and you as Mega Man X" thing, which, that'll end up getting shown off, he finishes with a dash shot, because you have to have the dash boots. Since there's no sprite in the game of the original Armor X dashing, his legs disappear, so he's just a flying torso with his arm out in that state, which literally can't happen outside of hacking, but it is still like really funny to look at because it happens.
Penguin always seems to give me trouble, like, especially in like the Game Boy version for whatever reason.
The Game Boy version is tougher. I have a little bit of trouble with it there, like, obviously, probably not as much as you do, not meant to be offensive or anything.
Like, I can beat all of the Robot Masters, it's just...
The Mavericks. Thank you.
I've lost my brownie point. I need to leave.
Okay, that sounds good. The puff of shame will just stare you down.
But please don't yank.
Wasn't intentional. But yeah, so... That answers all your questions. And we get a really cool new weapon get screen compared to all the classic ones. I love just like all the blueprints in this are so rad because it's all based around like, let's show what the graphics are capable of.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.